Hi everyone, welcome to our school area. This is my dining room and this is where we do our schoolwork. I just thought I'd give you a little tour, a very short tour, because everything we have is right here on this shelf. Okay, I thought I'd start on the bottom of the shelves. This is our, I guess, reference area right here. These down here are encyclopedias. These are actually from my childhood. My mom passed them on to us. We also have dictionaries here. This white, what is it, a magazine holder has thesauruses in it. And then we have over here, we have all our maps and atlases. So let me zoom in there. So that's kind of our reference area. Then moving over here, this is where I keep all of our manipulatives. Now, because we have such a small homeschool area, I can't have a ton of manipulatives. So I try to keep it, to a minimum, just enough that keeps my kids engaged, but that we're not just overflowing with a whole bunch of stuff to have to store. So I will walk you through all of the different manipulatives that I have. All right, let me show you some of the manipulatives that we have on our manipulative shelf. So right here, this is just a tub that has magnets in it, and I will fill it with more science supplies as the year goes on and we have money to purchase more things. And then making a lot of noise. On the bottom here, I have, let me see if I can get the lid off. I have beads in here for stringing, so that's to keep my toddler preschooler busy while we're doing school. I also printed this off from the measuredmom.com, and it is just this little truck, and it comes with different numbers. And so this is something fun that my little one can do. He can just put the lay it on the ground, put the number on there, and then he will put Cheerios or the little bears or Legos or something on top of the truck. So the other thing I have in here is I have a tub full of a whole bunch of different things in here. So I've got bears and I have little links. So I put together some patterns on my computer. I just printed this out and colored them in so that he could practice that. You can use the bears on there. And some little circles. I cut out some different shapes. So just a lot of little easy things in here that he can use. I also have, this is full of buttons, and I'll show you 2 circles in here. And then they can sort the buttons either by color, like black and white, excuse me, how many holes are in the buttons, 2 holes on one circle and ones with 4 holes on the other circle. There's also, big buttons and small buttons. We have some buttons that aren't circles in here, so they can do buttons with circles on one and buttons that are different shapes on the other. So that's just another fun activity to kind of keep the little one busy. I also have these sandpaper numbers for the little ones to use, and I have them. I will put whatever numbers we're working on with my preschooler, and then I'll have him feel it with his finger, and then he can put that number of bears on the card. So these are really things for my youngest one to use. And then we have, I think these are Melissa and Doug puzzles, word puzzles. So we've got those in there as well. And then up on this shelf, I just have some different games and fun activities for my older kids. So we've got fraction bingo, we've got sight word bingo. This is a great one that my kids love, silly sentences. This is a fun thing to do for grammar and to learn the different parts of speech. We have number bingo, United States bingo. This is from my childhood. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but it's a giant dice game, and this is really fun because you can practice addition, subtraction, and multiplication facts with this game. So that's pretty cool. We also have some geo boards here for the kids to do. Sequencing cards. I got these for $2 at a curriculum, used curriculum sale. And then some telling time cards. And then this over here is actually a geography game. So that we got, I think, from the My Father's World curriculum. So that's kind of our manipulatives. We also probably can't see, but over here, when I showed you originally, we have a balance so the kids can practice measurement. And then we have snap circuits that I keep somewhere else because it didn't fit on this shelf. So that's kind of the manipulatives that I have right here. Oh, I actually forgot right over here. Let me show you if I can turn. We have pattern blocks, and then these are the rest of our Math UC blocks. So we do have pattern blocks, and let me show you what we got in here, because these are really cool. I can use these pattern blocks for my young ones and my older ones. So we got these ones from Lakeshore Learning, and these are great because the little ones can just match up the colors. But then there's ones for the older ones as well where they have to try to fit what's going to fit in that pattern. They have ones that have the lines in them but not the color. So there's a lot of different options with those. And then I have this pattern book here that has just activities. So we'll do some of those throughout the year. And then pattern animal. So this is pretty cool. So they can pick an animal and build it with the pattern blocks. So what I do with those is I'll usually maybe copy one of these sheets and put it into my second or kindergartner's workbox. Here is my kind of math manipulative section. So I have a workbook here. We love the Math UC curriculum, but one of the things I feel like it doesn't do a lot of is review time and money very well. And so I have some worksheets here that have time and money. These are just books that I got off of Amazon. I cut the workbooks apart and then put them in this binder so that it's really easy to just snap the page out, photocopy it, and give it to my kids to use, and then I put them all in one binder. So I have that. And then I have this little tub here, has our math facts in it, so it's got all our addition, subtraction, multiplication flashcards in there. And then we got these fast fact cards. I think it came with My Father's World, I believe. So we've got that to practice our math facts. And then down here is another Math UC manipulative tub so that one of my kids can use those, and I've got two more up here. In this tub, I've got like a little sheet. Sometimes my younger ones have a hard time remembering like the difference between 16 and 61 or just what comes next. So I just printed this out real quick for them so that they can put that in front of them when they're working on their math. We have a clock to work on time. I've got some magnetic numbers that my little ones can do on this magnetic whiteboard. We also have some play money as well back there that they can use. And then this is just extra math worksheets. So over the years, I have just collected a lot of different workbooks for math and always end up going back to Math UC, but it's nice to just keep those on hand so that if we need a little bit more reinforcement or the kids just need a little bit of variety, we have those as well. And then, like I said, up here is our Math UC teacher's manuals and DVDs and the rest of our manipulatives. And then, if I can reach up here, this is the fraction overlay kit that my daughter will be using who's doing fractions. So this is really cool, really helps you visualize fractions a lot better. So I highly recommend getting the Math UC fractions curriculum. So up on this shelf, those are just resources that I don't want to pack away, that I maybe access just a couple times a year. And then you can also see we have our Math UC books. The kids are finishing up some lessons from Matthew C. last year that they were using, and then when they finish those, we'll pull those down and they can start working on that. And then in here I have, this is just kind of a place to put all of the stuff that we're not using at the moment, but that we're going to need later on in the year. So my 6th graders, Life Pack Bible curriculum workbooks there, and some other workbooks for some of the other kids. All right, so now we are on to our shelf here that I keep all of our writing and different art supplies and things like that. So over here I have all of our colored pencils. I like to get new supplies every year, and then we just dump the old ones into a big tub in our art cupboard. Back here are nice fresh box of crayons, and we've got whiteout in the back. That's really important. This is kind of my kids' pencil collection. It's got their pencils, their red pencils for doing the Spell to Write and Read program. Also has some regular pens for writing with IEW, because he recommends using pens instead of pencils. So we've got those in there. We also have highlighters and Sharpies in different colors for doing our projects. This pencil sharpener, this is classroom friendly supplies pencil sharpener. This is the best pencil sharpener in the world. I highly recommend it. This is, I mean, sharpens pencils really great. We also have fresh markers, brand new markers, and dry erase markers on this shelf. And then in the back, I have these little tubs. So this one has glue and tape inside, glue sticks, and then I have another one back there that's for scissors. So that's kind of our art pencil, pen, marker area. And then up here is where we keep our paper. So we've got paper for the younger ones that have the dotted lines here, and then we've got wide rule and college rule, and then up here is graph paper and note cards. And then over here, just because I didn't have anywhere else to put it, these are all of the fun games that we use with our Spell to Write and Read program. So I'm hoping to show you guys those in another video that I do with the Spell to Write and Read program and the supplements that we really enjoy. And then up here, these are great. If you don't have these are awesome. These quick response sleeves, they are so great because you can slide your kids' worksheets in here, and then they can write on here with a dry erase marker, and then you can save the worksheets for other kids. And so what we use those for is for our phonogram quizzes and our spelling quizzes, and then also for my kids to practice, the younger ones to practice their handwriting on with the clock face, so tracing their numbers and things like that. So I really like those. Okay, now we're moving on to the other side of our bookshelves. Up here is my reader books for just early readers. So on the left I have kind of the easiest books, and then they move to more difficult ones, and then you can see all by itself that Lonely Life of Fred book. I'm hoping to get some more Life of Fred books because we are really enjoying those. So I've got a place there, an empty spot to put all of our Life of Fred books I'm hoping to get. Right here I have a salt box. If you don't know about a salt box, this is great for preschoolers, for them and kindergartners, kids who you want to teach how to do penmanship, even practice spelling words in, but maybe they have difficulty with holding a pencil and paper. So a salt box is a great way to use large motor skills. We also have just a little index card thing over there that has our spelling words that we're working on, and then I've got some stamp letters and a clock stamp up there for spelling. And then down here on these two shelves are my kids' workbooks and binders, and their kind of curriculum that they need to access. And then down here is for my son, who's going to be 3. And these are kind of, I'm using them kind of like a work box for him. And so I'm just going to put different activities into these different boxes each day. And then he can pull those out and play with them. A lot of the manipulatives that I showed you that were over here on this end of the shelf, I will put in there for him to use. And then you can see on the left there, that is his binder. I will open that up and show that to you in just a minute. All right, the last part of our homeschool area tour is right here. This is all of my teacher's manuals and things that I need to homeschool my kids. Everything's on here except our Matthew C. Teacher's Manual, which was over here in our math section over there. So I have all of our spelling and handwriting, penmanship, spell to write and read phonograms and rule cards, Bible, our history. We're using the Mystery of History again. Love that. We're trying out Earth and Space for science, and we've got vocabulary and grammar and our IEW writing and all of that in there. And then up here in these baskets isn't anything too exciting, but up there on the left I just keep CDs and DVDs that I use throughout the year for our homeschool. That middle basket's empty because I know eventually I'm going to need to throw some stuff in there. Actually, it might have something in there and I already forgot what I put in there. And then over there on the right, I will show you what's in there in just a minute. All right, well, let me show you, if you remember that basket that was on the top shelf there, what I have in here is supplies for my almost 3-year-old. These are things that are special, that can only be used for school time, so I don't want him to be able to reach into them just randomly during the day. So I keep those up high. So he has some special markers just for himself. I found this cute little canister here, so I put his crayons in there. And then I have some of these dot art. I will stick those into his work boxes, maybe with a coloring book or some other different activity that he's going to do. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you, actually 2 things. He also has his own little journal. This is for Bible time. He can just color in there while we're reading our Bible stories. The other kids are going to be writing things in there. But okay, the last thing I want to show you is my little guy's his special binder for school. So he can pull this out when his older siblings are doing their schoolwork. And I have had this for years and years and years. It's held up quite well. The only thing I've replaced is had to get some new sheet protectors. So what this is just worksheets that I've created or printed out, and I slide them into the sheet protectors. And in a Ziploc bag here, he's got his dry erase markers and a little cloth to erase. And so I just put worksheets in here. This is his letters in cursive that he can trace. We also have some numbers here that he can do. I also put in some shapes that he can color and trace. And then in the back, I've got some coloring sheets that he can color. And then throughout the year, as I find some fun free worksheets on Pinterest or somewhere else on the internet, then I will just print those out and put them in here kind of to change things up. Anyways, that is our homeschool area. We don't have a classroom. We just have this bookshelf right here. And I have fit 5 kids worth of curriculum and teacher's manuals and manipulatives all on these shelves. And so I hope that encourages you that you can homeschool, and even if you don't have a classroom, you don't have to have a lot of space for it. And again, this fits 5 kids. So when I was only homeschooling 1 or 2 kids, we definitely did not even need this much space as well. So no matter what size area you have to homeschooling, you can do it. I hope this was helpful for you, and make sure to subscribe for lots more homeschool videos. Even if you don't have a classroom that you said. All right, well, that was our homeschool room. um,